Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to a brand new video on WWE 2K25. I am MFG back on WWE, and I wanted to make a video called Everything Wrong with MyFaction. And look, it's not to be negative, alright? I know I've made some negative videos in the past. It's this idea that people seem to believe I'm a negative person because of the game. When actually, I like to be an optimist in the most scenarios, right? But 2K have kind of made it impossible to want to do that. So today, we're going to look at your complaints, your thoughts and feelings of the game mode, not mine. Well, that's a lie. I'm going to get into mine, and then we're going to see what everyone else is saying afterwards, all right? So, we've also got chat. The chat window is not working because Botrix doesn't want to work. I don't know why, but I'll figure that out another day. I will be reading out people's chats if it's relevant. So, here's what we're going to get into. We're going to get into the video. So, first thing, there's a new content sync. Okay, fan-dabby-dozy. We love it when that happens. Okay. Let's go into MyFaction. So, mine's going to be heavily on MyFaction, but we are going to talk about WWE 2K25 as a whole, okay? As a whole. So, this is going to be a strap-in video. Deadly Passages said, hashtag not enough content. We're going to get into it, man. We're going to get into it. Right, MyFaction's loading. Come on. Come on, MyFaction. So, problem number one. Loading times, okay? There's a free one for you. How many times have you guys been on a loading screen for MyFaction that does not ever end? I mean, that one did, eventually. What's the reward for this week, by the way? Fierce. Okay, cool, whatever. Let's get into it. So, first of all, a problem with MyFaction. Let's take a look at the challenges. Alright, everything wrong with WWE 2K25. These are the daily challenges. 75 MFP for landing 10 running attacks. 75 MFP for succeeding at 10 crowd taunts. 3 tokens for damaging 10 opponents' head. Y'all seeing a problem? 75 MFP. 2 lots of challenges, so 150 MFP for the day. I can go and do a match that takes about nearly a minute and get 600 MFP. How is that a daily challenge, bro? What? Who actually does these purposely, or do you just accidentally do them? I accidentally do them. I don't go and do them. I can't be bothered. Maybe the tokens is worth it. But these challenges are awful. They are awful. They're not worth it in the slightest, alright? Obviously, you got your intro challenges. Taking a look at lifetime challenges, though, if we take a look at here right now, as you can see, I've done nearly all of them. There's not a lot. There really isn't a lot. So, we're going to get into a couple of things I don't like about the mode, okay? We'll start off with live events. Alright, before we get into everyone else's thoughts and feelings about the game, and that's going to be fun to talk about. I'm not going to sit there and agree with everyone. There's some I might not agree with, some I will agree with, so we'll see how that goes. But let's take a look. Live events this year has been interesting. Why? Because it's been boring, okay? Some events can have a fun part of challenge in it, but most often on that, it's a drag. Let's talk about the Ultimate Challenge 4, 5, 6, and 7, alright, to get these Amethyst live event reward cards, okay? So let's take a look at 4. There's 10 rewards there, right? And the rewards don't look too bad. You know, you get some packs, you can get Amethyst, Jimmy Uso, but the problem, it's the same match. 6-man tag team, 3v3, you're against rarities way higher than you, okay? Some people like the challenge, I get it, but you have to do it 10 times. It's a drag of a match. It's an elimination match. You've got to eliminate and pin 3 superstars 10 different times, okay? I'll be honest with you, I manipulate the game at this point to win these challenges because they bore the life out of me. They genuinely bore the life out of me, alright? Number 2, ridiculous problems with a live event. So, I don't know if they patched it. I think they patched the Kofi and Roman Reigns one. But the amount of live events that have came out, like Cena versus Undertaker, Cena versus Sami Zayn, alright, just to name a few, Kofi and Roman, they've brought out a lot of live events that are near impossible for most people to complete. This one was fine. Roman Reigns against CM Punk, that was a fun event, that was okay. Not all of them are terrible, but there's been more really bad events this year than there has been in a long time, folks. A long time. And they're very heavily gone on cards required for live events. Like, if we scroll down here, it's very rare that you'll come across an event where you can use any superstar. Very rare. Normally, the monthly smash and stash ones, right? If we take a look at the live events that we've got, obviously we've got Bailey's Birthday Bash, which you can use any card for to get like 4 packs, which isn't too bad. Those events are fine. No doubt we'll probably face a Pink Diamond Bailey though, of course. So that's live events. Live events is one thing that, in my opinion, needs work. Okay. World Tour. Let's talk about World Tour, man. Let's talk about World Tour. So, World Tour. We have had these cities, if you will. We didn't have Atlanta, Denver, or Las Vegas at launch, but we did have all the others, right? After nearly 2 months of the game being out, they added 3 cities, which we all done in a day, let's be honest, right? Or 2 days. There's never enough updates on World Tour. There's never enough updates. How long have we been waiting for Japan at the bottom? How long have we been waiting? Since launch? The game came out 7th of March for the people that bought the Bloodline Edition, right? 7th of March. I believe that's the correct date. We're now in June, okay? So the whole of March, whole of April, the whole of May, and now halfway through June. 4 months and we've only had 3 cities added. Abysmal content. Abysmal. Let's talk about faction war. Let's talk about faction wars, alright? I don't think faction wars is terrible by any stretch of the imagination, but the rewards are not consistent. We went a whole month without getting any rotating cards. And then they brought out Sean Spears, Jada Parker, Damian Priest, and Josh Briggs. Was it Damian Priest, Josh Briggs? I'm not too sure. And it felt like they was only out for like 2 weeks. And then these came out, which are the current new ones. They have got new bosses that are rubies. But last year at launch, we had rubies at launch. We don't even have Amethyst yet in Faction Wars. And who knows when these will be updated. As a matter of fact, it took nearly 3 months for them to even update to ruby, okay? So that's the problem with Faction Wars. Another problem with Faction Wars is that a lot of the time, some of the cards are bugged. A lot of the time, some of the cards don't count for your collection. These ones currently do. But I don't know how many of you in chat that have had a problem where you've redeemed a card and it's not counted for your collection. Too many times, in my opinion. All right. Talking about the game mode in itself, let's just use a ticket, right? Let's just, whatever. We're not going to play a match. I'm just loading into it. All right. There are problems with the game mode. So, for example, I don't know. I can't go in any of the modes because I've got to do this 1v1 match. But one of the match stipulations you can have is when you eliminate an opponent, you gain a signature. But you can't eliminate opponents in this game mode. So why is it an option? Like, that don't make no sense to me. All right. For example, there's also a node where it lets you pick from other superstars available in the game that you might not have. And that's cool. But if you've got the best team possible, that's not useful in the slightest. All right. It gets very repetitive. There's not much of a mixture of matches. Let's be honest. It's literally a 4v4. You have a 1v1 in a steel cage. You have a 1v1 underground. You have a 1v1 normal 1v1. You have a 2v2. There's no triple threat matches. Thank God. You have 2v2s, either tag team. I think it's just tag team for the 2v2s. And then you've got 3v3s, either tag team or ladder, pin, and submission. And then you've got your standard 4v4s, alright? I think it's a bit repetitive. I wish there was more to this. I don't hate Faction Wars. The worst thing about Faction Wars is that you need tickets in order to play it. Imagine gatekeeping your content away from your players by putting tickets to be able to play. And there's no way to get tickets. You've just got to hope there's a live event that gives you tickets. That's the problem. So if players are getting bored and they think, oh, I'll go and grind some Faction Wars, but they haven't got a ticket, they can't play the game. So then what are they going to do, 2K? They're going to leave the game. Completely against the point you're trying to do, which is make people play your... right, okay. Besides the point. Faction Wars isn't the worst thing in MyFaction. I like it in a sense, but they took away briefcases. So Faction Wars in 2K22 and 2K23 was boring, really boring. It was 4v4s every single match, just the same 4v4 every single match against random opponents, right? You get a win, you get a briefcase, you open a briefcase, you get rewards. The briefcases were the best part about that. So then they just reverse it. They make the Faction Wars mode itself more fun and interesting, but then the rewards are worse. So I don't understand the point. If you want to fix Faction Wars, if you're going to keep tickets in Faction Wars, add a briefcase as a node. Add a briefcase after... So, you see you've got these red matches. I don't know if there's any here. Yeah, okay, so you see that 2v2 red match right there? That's a harder match, okay? So in order for people to risk playing the harder match, why don't you put a briefcase as a reward? It stops people from spamming briefcases, okay? It's not going to be overpowered. It will make more people play riskier by playing the hard matches. Why don't you just put briefcases in the hard matches? I don't know. I'm just saying, that would make sense to me. But who am I, right? Let's talk about weekly towers. All right, we're going to just gloss over my problems with the game mode and talk about all your problems. So we're on week 17 right now. And again, they're really easy matches. Emeralds, bro. We're already on Amethyst. I've got Pink Diamond, Jey Uso. I've got Pink Diamond, Bianca Belair. Even if you don't have Bianca Belair, you either have Jacob Fatu and Liv Morgan, Diamond. So it doesn't matter. Or you've got Jade Cargill and whoever the Amethyst. Was there an Amethyst male in Collection Rewards? I'm not too sure. But they're really easy matches. Like, why is match 4 a Ruby and then match 5 is a Sapphire? What? Like, it don't make much sense. The reward, 2,500 MFP? What are you going to do with 2,500 MFP? Or as Deadly Passenger says, give a briefcase after each boss battle in Faction Wars. You could do that. You know? You could also have a chance of getting a briefcase. A really rare chance of getting a briefcase as one of the rewards in the different nodes. When asked about, I forgot his name, Cornell, I can't think of his last name, but on the Pro podcast, I've got the Spodcast, whatever they're called, right? Shout out, Pro Wrestling Shoot podcast, right? He was asked why briefcases were took out, and they said they wanted to take the RNG away and give players more of a way to earn what they want to get. And I'm like, nah, you took it away because it was really good. It gave us MFP, it gave us new cards, it gave us, I remember contracts. I remember contracts in the old WWE MyFaction, right? The briefcases gave us loads of cool different things, and it was a reason to grind it. There's no reason to grind this. Once you have all the Faction Wars cards, you don't need to grind that game mode. There's nothing you can benefit from it. MFP gains are not that great, right? So there's no reason to actually play the game. Talking about weekly towers, also apologies, I've turned off my fan, it's very warm in here. So my breathing's a bit, it's very hot. So when it's very boiling hot, like my breathing's a bit shallow. So apologies about that. I sound like I'm out of breath, but it's just fucking so warm. So weekly towers, in my opinion, it's been a thing since 2K22, but they need more than 5 matches. I'm sorry. They need more than 5 matches. I've always said add a weekly gauntlet, add a weekly Royal Rumble alongside. How about you have weekly events, right? And in the weekly events tab, you have weekly towers, a weekly gauntlet, and a weekly rumble. 3 different things for people to chew into. Some more fat to chew into the game, if you will, okay? More content equals more playtime. More content equals word of mouth. Word of mouth equals more players. It's obvious, right? But for whatever reason, they don't do it. Anyway, ranked play. Ranked play has improved over the time. I will admit, ranked play has gotten better. But the problem with ranked play, and it's not just Wwe 2K25, it's a problem with all games in general. When something is an exploit, everyone will use it. And then the game's broken until the developers choose to patch it. And that's just how it works. So I'm not going to go into rank play too much. It is better this year. The main issue with rank play is crossplay. There is no crossplay in 2K25. I cannot play with my PlayStation 5 audience, right? It's only my Xbox Series SX audience, right? I can't play with my PC audience. I understand last gen because it's kind of like a different game. But why can't I play with PlayStation 5? Why can't... I think PC's last gen as well. But why can't I play with current generation? If we could play with current generation, there'd be a lot more players in the pool to choose from. And then you take that fact, and then you add the fact that the game's also split into different servers. So I'm on the United Kingdom server in Europe, right? But I won't be connected against any of the Americans. It'll be just people in Europe. So you take a small pool of players, because it's only one system, and then you divide them even further. So, I don't know. I think it's strange. I think it is strange. Let's take a look. Okay. Evolution cards. Alright. Evolution cards. This is another classical problem with this game. The game came out the 7th of March. Okay. Where's the evolution cards, 2K? What is the point? For 2 years in a row now, 2K23 and 2K24, the evolution cards have barely existed. Okay? These are literally the only 2 evolution cards. Where are the evolution cards? Where are the evolution cards? Where are they? People are saying you can change your server. You can change your server, but the point is you have to play on specific servers to play with specific people. If the servers were open, you wouldn't have to do that, right? I just think there should be a global mega server that you can join. They've got the money to. They have the money to. Trust me, 2K, they got a bit of money, bro. They got a bit of money. They're owned by Take-Two Interactive. Take-Two Interactive have got dollar. And believe me, after MyFaction of the current years, they've got money. But best believe they've got money. Especially from you sharks that decide to spend... No, is it sharks? No, whales. These whales that spend a ridiculous amount of money on the game. I remember people paying $500 just to get the Sapphire cards when the game first came out. It made no sense to me, but whatever. Evolution cards. Where are the evolution cards, man? We've got 2. Evolution cards, if you don't know what they are, I won't blame you, because they're nowhere to be seen other than the first 2 you get in the starter pack, right? Essentially, your cards start off at 1 rarity, and as you can see with Seamus here, it started off as Emerald, then Sapphire, then Ruby, alright? You do challenges to evolve that card up further. Where are those cards this year? We're literally 1/4 through the game. We're probably over a quarter, actually, because the new game's probably going to come out, what, February time? February, March? So we're like 3 months into the game. Yeah, we're 1/4 through the game's life cycle, okay? And we've had no evolution cards yet. We've had a lot of packs. We've had a lot of live event cards. We have a lot of cards this year. I feel like more cards than 2K24 had, but we'll get into it, right? So evolution cards, that is another problem. A huge problem that needs to be fixed, alright? Let's take a look at the My Collection, and I'm just going to take a look at Oddities. I have all the Oddities in the game, alright? I have everything. We won't count these because they're live event Oddities, so I'm not going to talk about these. But the King Booker, Elytra Stratus, and Bray Wyatt, the problem with these Oddities is there's no way to guarantee how you get an Oddity. You have to get them in packs, and you can constantly just get duplicates. And for the longest time, I didn't have Tristratus. I needed 1 Oddity, and it took forever to get. I kept getting duplicates. I never got the card that I needed. And it was a pain in the arse. I'm not looking forward to when they add Oddities to the game, and it's in packs that cost 30, 40k, right? And we're going to get into the pack prices soon. Don't you worry. We're going to get into that as well, all right? So Oddities, another thing I'm not looking forward. Now, take a look at this. The token market we've got. We're gonna talk about token market too. I'm gonna need to pause the video at some point and grab another drink because my throat's already getting dry. Excuse me. So let's have a look. So obviously the Oddities we've got. Not the Oddities. Token market we've got 30 cards. All right. In World Tour, we've got not that many cards in World Tour, to be fair. Faction Wars, we've got 76 cards you can currently get. Live event rewards. Wait, what card did I miss in the live events, bro? Did I miss? Oh, no, that one's coming up, right? So I've got every single live event card in the game so far, right? There are 44 live event cards in 3 months, all right? Doesn't feel like a lot, but we're kind of getting flooded with live event cards pretty quick, and a lot of them are very mediocre. Not one of these stands out to me as good, other than probably Roman and Punk, all right? Maybe some others are pretty good. Let me know in chat. We'll talk about DLC as well, Jordan. Don't worry, we're going to talk about DLC. So yeah, 76 cards in Faction Wars, just a boatload of cards. It's kind of ridiculous, to be honest with you. And the fact that they ticket the mode off to even limit how many cards you get is crazy to me. Weekly Towers rewards, again, we've only had 4 cards over the weeks, 17 weeks that the game's been out. Well, not 17 weeks, it's more like 13 if you don't, because the game launched for 4 weeks, right? Ranked play rewards, I don't go for any of these cosmetics, I just go for the superstars. We've had 4 cards in there. My collection rewards, there's quite a lot. The only one I don't have is Damian Priest. And you know the funny thing is, I should have Damian Priest, but the game glitched and I have to contact 2K to get Damian Priest. I'm not doing that, 2K. I earned the card. I'm not going to email you a ticket for an AI robot to get back to me with some bullshit. I'm not going to do that. I deserve this card because I earned this card, but you're not going to give me that card. That is on you, not on me, okay? So that's another, same with Zoe Stark as well. Same with Zoe Stark. They botched the release of the Superstar pack, I think it was. And because of that, I don't have these cards. And that's not even on me, bro. That's on you. Locker code. Let's talk about that. God damn. Anyone remember, like, a month ago, 2 months ago, when I put up that these were found in the code? Randy Orton Emerald and Cody Rhodes Emerald. Where are they, gang? Where are they? I don't know where they are. I haven't seen a locker code for these at all. Locker codes for cards have gone downhill. We haven't had any since the Emerald cards. We have had no Sapphires. We've had no Rubies, no Amethysts. Locker codes have kind of just been for VC, but, like, you probably can earn 1 pack with that, if that. World Tour rewards, 24 cards. There are some decent cards in here, actually, so I'm not going to hate too much, but, you know, it's cool. Badges. Aye, okay, let's get into badges, bro. Let's get into badges. So, in my opinion, badges is one of the best reasons to play WWE 2K25 MyFaction. It changes up the game mode drastically, makes cards that otherwise in real life are not great, play it like wrestlers that are not really good. And the cards, the badges are what make the cards good, alright? So far, we have had a couple of nerfs in the game, alright? Some people like it, some people don't. I will quickly get into it if I can find the cards. So, for example, Rabble Rouser is one of them, okay? Before the patch, Grey would give you a finisher after 4 taunts, Blue would give you a finisher after 3, Purple would give you a finisher after 2 taunts, and then Gold would give you a finisher after just 1 taunt. And I will admit that is broken. However, they patched it the wrong way. What I think should have happened is after 1 taunt, you get special progression towards your signature bar. However, the way that I would have done it is, excuse me, if you have a grey badge, you just get a little bit in your bar, okay? If you have a blue badge, you get about, I'd say, halfway. If you have a purple badge, you get 3/4 of the bar. And if you have a gold Rabble Rouser, you get a finisher instantly. That's how it should work, right? It shouldn't work how it currently works. It's very silly to do. Who's going to do 4 taunts to get a tiny little bit of finisher? Who's going to do that? No one's going to do that, bro. No one's going to do that, right? They patched it the wrong way. They done a very backwards decision with it, and I don't agree with it. You could have made it have the same effect. However, just have it so you only have to taunt once. And depending on the badges, depending on how much special you get. Like, the gold badges are the best. So why am I not getting a finisher on gold? Right? It makes no sense. Excuse me. Let's have a look. What else we got? Sting Like a Bee is the other one that got patched. I agree Sting Like a Bee should have been patched. But, again, I think they patched it the wrong way. Instead of stunning your opponent ridiculously quick, you should stun based on the damage the opponent has, okay? If you've got a gold badge, it'll be easy to stun them. Not ridiculously easy, but once they've lost half of their health bar, the stun meter gets easier to fill, alright? If you've got a purple bar, they have to have half of their red health, alright? If they've got a blue badge, then you have to have 1/4 of health left for it to be effective. And if you have a grey Sting Like a Bee, your opponent should have no health left for it to work properly. That's how I think it should be patched. Not to make it absolutely useless, all right? Sting Like a Bee right now is useless. The only thing it's good for is giving you MFP at the start of the match. It does nothing right now. Collector's level, I'm not going to talk about collector's level, although it feels like they kind of lost things to do here, right? If you take a look after Seth Rollins, it's just 10,000, 10,000, 10,000. So I don't know. It feels like they just don't know what to do for these 3 levels, so they just put 10,000 there. Going over to the store. Okay, let's talk about the token market. The token market in 2K22 and 2K23 was very easy. I'll be honest with you. You could get the cards very quickly. And I'll agree, it was a bit too easy to get the cards. However, in 2K24, they completely 180 and made it insanely impossible, all right? We've had Ruby cards now for nearly a month and a half, I think. Probably a month, actually. I have 4 cards, okay? And they cost 100 tokens. I have 7, all right? So maybe in 2 weeks, I'll have enough to get another Ruby. But then in 3 weeks' time, we're probably going to get Amethyst cards. But guess what? If Rubies cost 100, so let's have a look at how much they all cost, right? So, does it say how much the Sapphire ones cost? So if Rubies cost 100, I think Sapphires were 50. Then that means Amethyst are either going to be 150 or 200. The problem is, as we get towards Galaxy Opal, the tokens needed for these cards are going to be ridiculous. There's not enough tokens in the game for you to get these cards. On 2K24, I got to Amethyst and then I couldn't get to Diamond because I didn't unlock enough cards to be able to get there. There's not enough tokens, in my opinion, to be able to get to Galaxy Opal. I think it's ridiculous. It's very hard to get the tokens. There needs to be a better system in place, all right? It was very easy, and now it's ridiculously hard. There should be a point halfway, all right? Okay, let's take a look. VC. Do I need to talk about the problem with VC? I think we can all figure that one out, right? Card market, I've not got too much to say about the card market. It is what it is. I'd like a player auction house, to be honest. That would be an interesting twist on MyFaction. But I'm not going to get into the card market. The card market's fine. 3 weeks after a pack comes out, the card market gets all of the cards from that pack. Very self-explanatory. They've lowered the price with it. Cool, whatever. Card market's fine. I'm not too stressed out about the card market. Some cards are a little bit too expensive, but it is what it is. It is what it is. It's a way to guarantee you can get a card without having to try and pack it. So I'm not exactly angry about the card market. I'm like, I'm mediocre, bro. I'm mediocre. I'm like, okay, cool. All right, let's talk about packs. Okay, so let's go back. Oh, I'm happy they did this, right? Let's have a look at the Legends cards, all right? So if we take a look at Legends, as you can see, 9,900 MFP for a basic pack. 12,700 for a deluxe pack. Let's take a look at Tempest, right? Tempest the same. All right, that's cool. And then you go to Sinister, 30,000 for a deluxe. Huh? What? 30,000 for a deluxe? The most expensive pack on 2K24 was 23,000. And that was for Galaxy Opal cards. 23,000 and something, I think, right? Right now, we're not even on Diamond cards. And you're charging 30,000 MFP for these cards. So, do you think we're going to stay at 30,000, chat? Or do you think it's going to go even higher? That's my problem. I have a theory that Galaxy Opal cards could be 60k a pack. Now, some people would think that's ridiculous, but 30k is already ridiculous, and we're not even at Diamonds yet. It's blasphemy. I can't understand it for the life of me. Don't understand it for the life of me. I just want to take a look as well, right? Right now in the game, this is how ridiculous it is. Let me get to the collection. Right, let's have a look. Superstar Series as well, that's another problem. This started in 2K24. Every single pack has a Superstar Series 1 card. Alright. Every single pack has a Superstar Series 1 card. And back in 2K22 and 2K23, you were guaranteed, if you bought a Legends card, you were guaranteed a Legend in that pack. Doesn't mean it'll be a good card, but you're guaranteed at least 1 card of the set. 2K24 got rid of that format. All right. I'll say the odds are fairly decent. All of the pack openings I've done on my channel aren't bad at all. I have got some very decent cards in pack openings, but again, we should be guaranteed at least a card from the set we are opening. I don't understand this idea. I don't care about Superstar Series 1. I could not care less about it. I see a Superstar Series 1 card and I go, ugh, right, I hate it. I really dislike it. I'd rather get a cosmetic. I'd much rather get a cosmetic, right? Number 2 as well, they nerf the MFP you get back from duplicate cards. So not only are you going to get duplicates left and right, before you got a decent amount of money. You got like 2,000 for a gold, 7,000 for a sapphire, 11,000 for a ruby. And now it's been nerfed. I think I don't know, chat, how much do you get for like a ruby now? Right? It's been ridiculous. It's been ridiculous. But let's take a look at all the packs that have come in. I do have every single card in the game right now, from the packs at least, alright? Legends, Fierce, Assen, Electric, Tempest, WrestleMania 1 and 2, Superstar Super Pack, Demastered, right? I think Demastered was like a little bit more expensive, like 13,000 MFP or something like that. I think it was more expensive than the others, but then to Sinister and Punches and Promos, 30,000 MFP. So you get 7.5k for a ruby. That's what we used to get for sapphires. And it's been nerfed to oblivion, alright? It don't make sense. It don't make sense, but it is what it is. It is what it is. It's ridiculous. So every single card gives back a tier below what they used to. So take that for what you will. Another thing I'll mention is bugs and glitches, alright? I don't want to get this card up because it makes my skin crawl because of my phobia. My Versophobia makes me look at this card and I wince every time. I don't like it at all, but I'm going to show it to you. Unless they've patched it. Did they patch it? Maybe they patched it. By the way, look how many cards there are in the game, bro. How many do you know how hard it is to find a Sapphire card that I need? And I have to scroll through this Goliath list of Sapphires that I'm never going to use? Ridiculous, but... Did they remove the glitch Sapphire card? I feel like they did. Did they remove it? I think they removed the glitch card. They knew I was making this video. God damn it, 2K. Oh, man, annoying. Okay. Anyway, the game just launched. Just every event has a bug. Every event has a bug. Every event has problems where the rewards don't show properly. Placeholder images are shown. Maybe some matches freeze your game. We're going to get into it with the community response, all right? But the game is buggy as shit. I feel like I'm playing Grounded. There's that many bugs in this game, all right? But you know what? You've heard me speak a long time about all of this. You've heard me speak for a while, all right? So let's get into what you think about this, all right? So let's get into it. Let's get into it. So if we take a look at here. So we're going to scroll down. I said, keep them coming. I'm not ignoring anyone at all. I'll be including every single reply, responding in the video. Bonus points for images and videos. Okay, so let's scroll down. Bleeding Green 188 said, when making your opponent tap out and the match not ending sometimes, it pisses me off. That glitch has been in the game since last year and it never got fixed. Anyone else in chat ever had that problem? I've had that problem. I'm like, yes, I made him tap. And I'm like, referee, he tapped. He's right in front of you. What are you doing? Yeah, I know. I agree. I agree, Bleeding Green. Thumbs up from me. I agree. Raymond Francis said, how come when you do a submission in the MFP grind, Roman and the GOD stay where they are, but when I do it, they immediately break up the submission? Is it a console generation difference? I'm on PS4, and I'm assuming you're on Xbox Series X. I'm not too sure, to be honest with you. I mean, more often than not, my team do not break up where I get. Sometimes they come into the ring to stop the pinfall if I'm getting pinned. But it's more often or not the opponent will break it up more than my team. At least that's what I've noticed. So if that's what you mean, I think I agree with you, essentially. BMT said, more evolution cards. The non-stop grinding of faction wars and live events is boring after some hours. Give us a promo with evolution cards. So exactly what I said. Shout out to BMT. I said this exact same thing. Where are the evolution cards, man? Like, we've got 2, and the game's been out. Like, This would be the 4th month. This would literally be onto the 4th month. It's mad. It's actually mad. Let's have a look. Let's take a look. What else we got? As a casual non-regular player, it's annoying playing live events. Almost every time you have to use a gold or an emerald card and go against 99 overalls with 3 finishers at the start. Of course, this is an exaggeration, but that's what it feels like. So I see what Carlos here is saying. That's what it feels like. It feels like we're getting punished for trying to play the game. I like a challenge as much as the next man. But I don't like a challenge to the point where we're facing a card with 4 higher rarities than me, where I have to use a silver. I'm looking at you, Sami Zayn. I'm looking at you. I'm looking at you. All right. The response to everything wrong with WWE 2K25, I went back to 2K24, my faction. If that doesn't tell you what's wrong with this game mode, nothing will. I went back to the old game. That's how much they didn't want to play this one. All right. Anthony said, I might be the minority here, but there's nothing wrong with the game.
Bullshit.
As a cat... Sorry. I might be in the minority here. There's nothing wrong with the game. The game mechanics, the combat, the fighting, everything about it, plus the crazy storylines and various modes are fun for me. The only issue I have is online stability and server issue. There's nothing wrong with the game. Thumbs down from me. Thumbs down from me, friend. Thumbs down from me. Anthony, shout out to you though. Thank you for replying. Right, this was 6 replies on the follow-up post, but let's go on to the main post and take a look. I'll be making a video this week called Everything Wrong with WWE 2K25. So if there's something that doesn't work on your game, whether it's a glitch or whatever, let me know in the replies and I'll include everything I see. Doesn't have to be just my faction. So I want to show some love to the entire game mode itself, alright? So, let's get into it. Sean Stosky just replied with an image of, I don't know, what, is it, who is it, Otis? I think it looks like Otis, just doing some kind of, I don't know, I'm sorry, I don't see the problem, maybe I'm not seeing it properly, but I don't know, I don't know. Carry on, you enjoyed my faction a lot, then what now? I don't know what that means, but I agree, I think, alright. Elite Bray Wyatt having the wrong Titantron. It's meant to be the one from WWE 2K24, not his shattered Titantron. They don't care about Trons. I agree, by the way, Inferno. I agree. They don't care about Titantrons, though. They just don't care. It probably costs more money to animate and add Titantrons in. So that's why entrances aren't in my faction, because it's not worth the hassle for them. They're not going to get more money back for it, so they don't care. Although, logically, if they were to add custom Titrons with the Persona cards, I think they would get more money, but who am I, right? Who am I? Custom renders. The pin option, so custom renders is the problem, and the pin option in my faction being the chase game rather than the button mash. I don't know why I didn't mention this, but I'm glad you did, Mr. PSC. Why do I have to do the timed pin? Some people say it takes more skill. It just takes reaction speed. It doesn't take skill. It's pure reaction speed, right? There's people with disabilities who don't have great reactions, and this will just ruin the mode for them full stop. They'll get pinned and that's it, game over, because they can't, unless they're playing with a really good card with super good kick out, right? But why can't I button mash? All right, with a button mash, you're guaranteed to kick out maybe twice, but eventually it's impossible to kick out. With the slider, there's always a chance you can kick out, but why are we forced to use it? I get in online. If you want to enforce it for online, I kind of get it, but why single player? Why can't I play my game single player against the computer, harming nobody my way? I don't understand it. But Mr. PSC, you get an agree from me, buddy. You get an agree from me. All right. Metal Messiah. Vader's Mastodon entrance with Pyro doesn't work properly. Again, more entrance glitches. Several of the stages provided in the CAE don't let you turn off the colour of the LED trons properly. entrance glitches. When resizing images, the sensitivity in the game is set to high. A single tap doubles the image size. Again, I don't create custom superstars, but I imagine this is a problem for the more creative people out there for WWE. Shawn Michaels / Kurt? Wait, what do you mean? Okay, no, there's more. Shawn Michaels / Kurt Angle Roman Reigns pyro during entrances just doesn't work. Okay, so there you go. All of that is mainly entrances. I don't ever see entrances because all I do is play MyFaction, right? So it doesn't necessarily bother me too much. But they should work. They should work. It's as simple as that. All right. Shay, constant Irish whipping to the corner or to the ropes. Dragging and carrying is the biggest issue I have. Ruins the match flow when that is all the AI does and no sliders to fix it. So I've noticed that AI does the wake-up taunt quite a lot. They used to go off the top rope quite a lot, but they don't do it as much now. But they always do the wake-up taunt, even when they don't have a finisher. I've noticed that at least. So you can it's like outside. You can manipulate the AI outside the ring because majority of the time, when they grab you, they're going to try and Irish whip you back into the ring. The majority of the time. So it's like, I don't know, the way the AI is programmed this year, it's very strange. Very strange. Let's take a look. Wazbook TV. I'm tired of the constant negativity within the WWE community. There's a slim amount of creators they listen to all the popular opinions, even if there are not that many of them. I get people are sick of the constant negativity, but if the game wasn't a constant negative experience, there wouldn't be constant negativity. So I half agree with you. Waz, I half agree with you, okay? Northern said, Series X console overheats when playing MyGM, but it's not overheating in any other game. Other users have had this happen on Reddit. I changed my thermal paste and it still happens. Well, when I'm playing WWE, my partner will be like, your Xbox sounds like it's about to take off. Now, I don't know if it's because it's my Xbox or if it's WWE. I don't want to blame WWE, but let me know if any of you guys have issues in the comments below. All right. And if you're watching this video and there's an image there's an issue I haven't mentioned or said, and you have an issue with the game, feel free to comment it in the comments. All right. All right. Let's take a look. Brian, game freezes and turns off during Rumble. I always feel like the Royal Rumbles always had glitches in WWE. I'm not excusing it. I just feel like that's always been the thing. When they're Ngozi in chat said, when they're about to be stunned and the AI magically reverses and does a wake-up taunt every time, bro. Every single time. Sir631PL said, I think a lot of people talk about this, but changing dodging is the stupidest thing 2K did. Someone agrees. Not only game mix it with late reversal, but it's very slow compared to 2K24. I'm so happy someone said this, because in 2K24, dodging was my #1 tip for that game. Dodging was a game changer. If you knew how to dodge, where your character just does that, right? You could not break the game, but you could set yourself up to win a lot easier. But the problem is now, the dodge button is the reverse button. So you try and hit dodge, but then you either accidentally reverse, or you don't dodge out the way. And because you've pressed the dodge button, which is also the reversal, you've then reversed too late and you don't reverse the move. The best part about it is, the dodge button on 2K24, which is RB, this one, that button does nothing now. So why change the dodge button? I don't understand why. I agree. I probably agree with this point the most so far. This speaks to me. Okay, I agree with you, Sir Six. I agree with you. Whenever someone uses their resilience, sometimes it will glitch and then the ref and the players in the pin will be stuck there forever. I have had this glitch countless of times playing online matches in the actual online mode of the game, not ranked play, but actual online with my community, where I'll use resiliency and then I'm just stuck in the pin and the referee's just like this. The referee's just staring and everyone's like, bro, just count. And the referee's like, bro, I can't. And we're like, bro, why can't you count? And he's like, because the game's not working, bro. Yeah, I agree. I agree with this one, Brian. I agree with this one. Thumbs up. Well done. Mr. Man, you need to do this. The lack of content in live events is beyond a bloody joke. So, by the way, I'm not making this because I need content. I mean, I do need content, which is fair. But I'm making this because I'm like, people are trying to tell to me they're sick of negativity. So I'm like, okay, let's see if it's just me being negative or if it's a collective audience being negative for a good reason, right? Let's have a look. CAW suit crashing if you scroll through too many parts. Regardless if they're bottoms, tops, gloves, hats, etc., even the quick save function cannot bypass the crash. CAWs also cannot use their entrance attires in a selection screen like they could last year. So more customization just being took out the game for weird reasons, but you know. Oh, here we go. There is a flaw in Surrender. Shout out for the video. As you can see here, he's just made solo Sikoa tap. Well, watch that again. He's just made... Oh, hello. Sorry about the volume. My bad, my bad. He's just made solo Sikoa tap and the referee does nothing, okay? As you're about to see, gets the bar all the way, solo taps, nothing. Absolutely nothing. So, again, come on, 2K. What are you doing, bro? What are you doing? Diego says, my game crashes every time I buy at the card market. Laughing face. I literally had to open the game 8 times to get the Emerald ECW live event. It's the fact we laugh about it because there's no other emotion now. It's just funny. It's just like, okay. I agree, Diego. I can't say it's never crashed on me. I'll be honest. The card market's never crashed on me, but I can believe that it's happened. I'll be honest. I can't agree that it's happened to me because I've never experienced it, but I wouldn't be surprised. Desmond Scott Cook, they should re-add this play as a manager or ref in special ref matching universe mode, because you can do that in play mode, not in universe mode. Plus, they should re-add in tag team title entrances because everyone else got the generic entrance. You know what I mean. To be honest with you, universe mode has been broken since 2K14. All right, that's 11 years ago. That was the first game that WWE 2K took over. I mean, that was probably the last good universe mode. Let's say 2K15 because that was officially 2K's created game. 2K14 was created by THQ but then got took over by 2K. And they bought the game out and bought the rights. But the majority of the game was still THQ's work. Whereas 2K15, it was all 2K's. And you started to see... They didn't create universe mode. They just knew that it was loved. So they just copy and pasted it over every year, right? There's the occasional fix. But universe mode's broke every year, bro. Every year. I don't know. I agree with you, Desmond. I'm not saying I don't agree with you. It's just universe modes never work. So at this point, I wouldn't even care about universe mode. I don't know. Brian James said, raising pack prices but still having gold silver cards in there is just ridiculous. If you have these packs cost 30k, you need to cut those out. Start with emeralds. I agree with this 100%. I just said this with the Superstar Series cards. Why are we getting bronzes in 30k packs? It's so expensive. So many people don't want to grind for it because it's not worth it, bro. Yeah, you have good odds of getting a good card, but if you don't, that's 30k down the drain. Like, it's mad. But I agree with you. I agree with you, Brian. Thumbs up, man. Wyatt said, there's no preview button for entrance motions like in the previous games. I did notice that create an entrance was very lacking, but I feel like that's been there like that for a few years, to be honest. All the lag that comes with the island mode, just the island mode in general is a problem, but yeah, I mean, it's definitely a beta feature that they're going to expand upon in future years. They're just testing the waters of the island. It's not meant to be a proper thing. It'll probably be a lot bigger next year, and they'll probably add a lot more monetization onto it, I'd imagine. But I agree with you, Brian. I agree with you. Desmond also said, don't include this blank DLC card glitch because it's gone now. So if you make a video about it, just say one day everyone got this blank card, but another day it's gone. So I'm just letting you know that if anyone, I do mean anyone, come across it, I'm fixing to make another post. Well, thank you, Desmond. I did find out that it was patched earlier, but thank you for trying to let me know. I appreciate it. Muse MVX said the entrance songs are still glitches on Windows. So I assume that means like the entrance music on PCs glitched. I assume that means. I don't play on PC, so I don't know. VJ said there's There's an issue in universe mode. There's always an issue in universe mode. When you select a referee and go to the match, it always Charles Robinson on the old attire. I remember one glitch in universe mode where I had a rivalry with Randy Orton, and Randy Orton was meant to come in and jump me, and for whatever reason, my manager swapped with Randy Orton for the cutscene, and my manager was Paul Heyman, and then Paul Heyman come in with a steel chair and beat me up, and Randy Orton was my manager. It was weird. It was weird, but that's just universe mode, I'm afraid. That's just universe mode. Sam T himself, I take a lot of pics in the game. A big bug for me, during entrance, attacks wrestlers wear their entrance attires for a little bit before the match goes official. Highlights reel makes their entrance gear disappear. This didn't happen in the past games. For me, it's annoying. Again, that's one of those things where I just don't think they're ever going to try and fix that, you know? My bad, folks, my bad. Okay, have a look. I can't upload any arenas or shows that I create. Once again, I've never had that problem, but then I don't upload arenas or anything like that, so you know, I can't comment on it, to be honest with you. The ring announcer is very quiet if you have the crowd on 100. I'm not going to say I disagree or agree, but again, that might be a I mean, it could be a bug. It could be a bug. Again, I never hear entrance music, so fair enough. The fight for MFP can be bugged sometimes. You can apply the super finisher to Solo and he taps, but the ref doesn't count it as a submission. You have to end the fight after that move, even though you won already. So again, the problem with referees not counting submissions, we've seen that twice today, so it's definitely a problem in the game. Someone said, money in the bank, cash-in eliminations being glitched. Here's an example. Jade defeats Tiffany and wins the title. Commentary says Tiffany retains when Naomi comes out to cash in her money in the bank, and Jade, who just won the title, disappears like it didn't happen. Let's just watch this. Let's just watch this quickly. Let's see what it's about. Huh? Why is Naomi coming out to okay, so Naomi's cashing in on Tiffany, but Jade just won the title. Huh? What? Yeah, that's a bit strange. That's really weird. Adam Ash on chat said, my current issues with MyFaction are 2K taking eternity to add World Tour content and them increasing pack prices because they're salty as yeah. Yeah, but yeah, we covered it. Oh yeah, I covered that, don't worry. Adam said, best I got. Why? Oh, let's have a look. WWE games, yo, serious question. Why do you lock what was previously free in games behind paywalls? Superstars, items, animations, what's the end goal? Is the money for the game and the VC we spend not enough? Fix your system, ripping us off. I agree with this, 100%. That Cena 54 attire has been in loads of WWE games. Why do we now have to pay for it? Huh? Make it make sense, bro. Make it make sense. Javier said the rope break works half the time. Yeah, again, in WWE, sometimes in real life, they'll go for a rope break, but the ref don't see it, plays into the storyline. So I'm half of the rope break. The rope break's always a weird, funny thing anyway. But I have done the rope break sometimes, and it hasn't worked. So I can't really ever depend on the actual rope break, I'll be honest with you. KSIK said, if we need specific cards for live events, then why do we need to find and select them? If there are specific cards needed, why are they not just active to use at the start of the event? This is a really good one. I 100% agree with you. Why do I have to scroll through, I don't know, 300, 400 cards to find the card needed? Right? You know what card I need, and I can't select any other card but that card. So why not just automatically select that card? I agree with you. This is another thing that bugs me. That doesn't make sense in this game. Excuse me. Jay-Z said that we can't change the pin kick-out system in MyFaction. Absolutely, I agree. Again, covered that one, but again, I agree with you, Jay-Z. George said abysmal servers for online lobbies, yet conveniently, it's fine for MyFaction. It's not always fine for MyFaction, but I'll agree that MyFaction online is better than the actual online. I will agree. Personas unlocked only in MyFaction. Too many packs and card types. Ranking system is broken on MyFaction. That is something I forgot to mention. But I do think the ranking system's a bit dumb. Like, because of how small the player pool is, and let's say you're a high rank, you're probably going to find a lot lower rank players. If you beat them, you hardly get any rank whatsoever. You need to win like 100. Let's say you're a pink diamond and you come across a sapphire player. You probably need to beat that sapphire player like 150 times in a row to be able to even rank up. It's ridiculous. It shouldn't work like that. I think it should be based off wins, etc., etc. I think the system needs a rework in ranked. I really do. I think it's absolutely terrible. Napster said, not gonna lie, I quit playing Wwe 2K25 in favour of FC25 Ultimate Team because it felt like less of a rip-off. Do you know what? I think that's fair, Napster. I actually think that's fair. Obviously, I'm reading chat at the same time, folks, so I can't get it on the screen because my chat's bugged, so I apologise. Colleen said, MyFaction should have more WWE lore. What's happening right now in WWE? I think there are still WrestleMania live events. It's been 2 months since WrestleMania. You know what? I actually agree with Colleen there. I 100% agree. I think, again, obviously they make the events and then program them into the game, so it's always going to be a bit behind, but it does feel a bit jarring to be like, you know, after Money in the Bank and we're still doing WrestleMania storylines. A little bit strange. I don't know. Louis said, my biggest complaint is that this mode isn't fun anymore. 2K have done everything they could to drive us away. I agree. I agree completely. I agree. Alright, going back onto the actual Twitter posts, or X. We still haven't got full DLC for the first drop. Shake my head. This is a huge problem. They advertise 5 characters in the first pack. A special guest, right? Then, one day before the pack drops, they announce that we'll find out what this guest is later on down the line. So you're not giving us 5 players in the DLC 1. You're giving us 4 players. And then somewhere down the line, we're going to get that 5th player. That's not what we paid for. You promised us 5 players in pack 1. We only have 4. And you still haven't announced what that 5th player is. And we're nearly at DLC pack 2. That's a crazy problem. There's so much wrong with that. There's, what's it called? False advertisement. False advertisement's the biggest problem. It's a really scumbag thing to do. You've made so many people pay for the Bloodline edition because they think they're going to get all the DLC, and it turns out the DLC that they paid for, they're not even getting the full complete version of it. So I think that's a huge problem. I completely agree with you, Great One, 100%. McCann said, every live event that comes out is broke. Just remove the gold card live event against Foley as it cut out every time you choose the card. Now it's been removed and no idea if it will be back. Again, bugs. The game is just riddled with bugs. Another problem that lines up with this is that there's no communication. There's no MyFaction support page. Other than MyFaction guy, listen, say what you want, folks. Say what you want about me, or if you don't like me, I don't care. For years, I've tried to be the best person for updating stuff on MyFaction. And maybe I'm not the best at it. Maybe I'm, you know, there are stuff that I find out late and other people have found out, like TH Jamie's put before me or something. But for the longest time, people come to me to find out what's going on with the game mode. I'm just a normal player like all of you. I'm just a normal player like all of you, right? But I made it my personal thing to be the news guy because WWE 2K don't have one. They just will not talk about their game. They will not bring out news updates about the game, right? Unless they're going to get money, of course. Let's take a look. Eddie Blay said, I've had a Faction Wars final match of a run unplayable. I started the match, but my team was controlled by the computer. They lost and my run was over. I've known so many people that have had Faction Wars glitches where they've just lost the ticket. And again, that's the problem with tickets. When a bug ruins the mode or ruins the match, we lose a ticket. Again, if you don't have a ticketed system, this wouldn't be a problem, all right? honestly, for myself, it's just MyFaction. It's not as fun as 22 and 23, and even 24 was. I didn't really like 24, but the gameplay was better in 24. The badges, the dodging, I think the gameplay was better in 24. So I will agree. Ryan said, I've given up on the game. It's boring as fuck. Never update anything. World Tour is the only decent thing to play, and it's been weeks since anything was added to it. Faction Wars is just repetitive and boring. Literally log in, check if they've done anything, and then come off. You're not wrong. I mean, probably, how many of you just log in just to see what's happening, right? I agree with you, Ryan. I agree with you. Tim said, I think the fact they have a cooldown at all in MyFaction is ridiculous. Why do they need time to find a CPU opponent? Obvious scheme to try for VC sales. It's predatory. The MyFaction mode has too many problems to list. It just gets worse and worse. I didn't mention cooldowns. I should have mentioned cooldowns. Cooldowns are pointless. They punish you for playing the game. If I play a match really well and get a really quick pin and win the match, why am I getting punished for that? I understand it in ranked to a degree if people are trying to farm points. I understand a cooldown trying to negate that. But why is there a cooldown in Faction Wars? The whole point is it's a gauntlet mode, kind of, that you play until the end. Why are you locking us? Why am I staring at the screen, 2K, for a minute to wait for my game to load? I don't understand it. Right, to read some of what chat's just said, Napster said, also, here's how you fix Evos. Make a moments mode based on PLE winners, like the showcase mode. Superstar of the month is a good start, but do it for each winner. It invests you in the live product and gives us more content we can care about. I like that. Yeah, sort of like FC's team of the season, right? Sort of like, what's it called? Where you can get a player, and then if their informed player comes out, you can upgrade it or something. Something like that, right? So an evolution card needs to happen for that. Like, if there's a card that's, I don't know, let's say CM Punk beats John Cena. Why? I think we should have an evolution card of CM Punk. So we see a low rated CM Punk, but he rises up the ranks to get to a, I don't know, diamond CM Punk after he beats Cena. Something like that. I think I agree, Napster. I agree. We have TOTW's moments in almost every sports game except this one. Yeah, 100%. Thomas said, Toy Taker was late too. Yeah, that also come late to the game. Bray said, MFG, if only there was a way to buy Faction Wars tickets. See, I don't want to buy Faction Wars tickets, Bray. I've got to be honest with you. I want them to get rid of Faction Wars tickets. They're not needed. Contracts weren't needed. They were just annoying. Tickets are just annoying. Just get rid of them completely, right? And add other reasons to play. The reason why there's tickets is because it stops people from being able to finish off all the cards very quickly. I understand that premise. But make the mode replayable. Make the mode make the mode have more of a reason to play it than just the Faction Wars cards. Bring back briefcases, okay? If the problem is because you don't want people to burn through the content, how are they going to burn through the content if there is a briefcase you can get every time you play it? People would just grind Faction Wars. You would have players actually playing the game. But I digress. I've gone into Faction Wars enough, right? Jordan said, say what you want about EAFC, but they advertise their content constantly and before it launches. Absolutely. Ones to Watch was the first card to type that. Multiple nowadays. TTV Harvester said they ruined it when they stopped the good MFP grind. I agree. Tongo said on Twitter, can't delete cores even after unassigning them from Universe. Yeah, I've heard creator wrestlers have had a lot of problems this year. Brogan said, not a bug, but more of a complaint. I think updated current models should either be extremely easy to unlock in MyFaction or should be free updates. I'm okay with them adding past gimmicks or outfits for wrestlers in MyFaction, but to keep an up-to-date roster, they should just be free. I'm on the fence with the whole it should be free. I like the idea of unlocking things and working to get something. It's just when that work is ridiculous, when the reward is so shit, okay? So I'm half and half with that, to be honest with you, Brogan. But I agree to a degree. Lil Steve said, you can't put a glove on the right hand of a CAW. What? Can you not? That's mad. Oh, here's that referee freeze glitch. This happened to me loads of times. Shout out to Sam Too Saucy for putting that. So if you try and hit resiliency at a certain point during the ref's count, this is what happens. We just have someone's leg in the air waving. The crowd are just like, yeah, nothing's happening. Nothing's happening. Nothing's. Supersonic Station said, my complaint is that we shouldn't have to unlock all the Persona cards we already did a year prior. If they are going to do everything games as a service, then the game should be free to play and let you carry over unlocks. Also, prices are too high for MF packs, game crashes, etc. I completely agree. Well, no, I'd agree to a certain extent, Supersonic. So your complaint is that we shouldn't have to unlock all the Persona cards we already did the year prior. The problem with that is, if you unlocked 70 Persona cards in 2K24, and they just give you 74 Persona cards in 2K25, the grind's pointless because there's nothing to grind for, alright? So I disagree with you on that aspect. However, there have been too many repeat Personas. I'm all for repeat Personas if there's just as much new Personas, right? If you're going to bring back a Persona, make a new Persona to go along with it, right? I'm all for bringing back old Personas, but don't make the game just old Personas. Where's the D-Generation X Personas, bro? Where's Thugonomics John Cena? Where's this? Where's that? You know, like, we've had too many old gimmicks. And another thing is when a Persona card is repeated too many times, like Roman Reigns 24, I think we've already got 2 of. Trying to think of any others that we have 2 of. Not a lot. There's not a lot, to be honest. We've got 2 Blood Suit Solo Sikoa. So they tend to repeat the same card as well. For Persona card, which is strange. But they've done that since Personas were a thing. 3 months in and I'm still unable to access the deletion utility. Big problem since 2K only gives us 1,000 custom images for the entire game. Again, customization being a problem in 2K. Another thing people are having a problem with. So again, shout out to you as well, Jumpman. I appreciate you commenting that with the video. Dale Evans said, just don't buy the game next year. Simples. I only played this year for a week and deleted it because it's crap like last year and the year before that. All sports games are shit recently. So this says show probable spam. So just to protect my channel, I am going to like take that off just in case. Let's take a look. Okay. Okay, so it's fine. We can show that. That's fine. So let's take a look. So for this one, just don't buy the game. It's not as simple as that because a lot of us enjoy the idea of the mode and we've enjoyed past iterations of it and we want to have that feeling back. And there is hope that they will listen. Now the chances are they probably won't, which is fair, but there is a chance that they will listen. All right. So I don't think just don't buy the game is a good example because the game at the start was good. MyFaction at the start was very decent. Then over time, it slowly derailed, right? That's the problem. It was good on launch, in my opinion. They just slowly started to patch things that didn't need patching and ruined the game. Also, one thing I'll mention is they added more match variation at the start of the game, like Elimination Chambers and Royal Rumbles. I've seen like 2 Royal Rumbles and 1 Elimination Chamber in live events, and we've got no more. Make it make sense. Claire Ramsey said, missing logos and created championships. I downloaded EG, Catacomanians, 1WF belts. They appear blank in Universe or Exhibition. Again, more custom creations, just not working. Pat Mother effing Reynolds. I redeemed the Ruby Zoe Stark from the Superstars pack and we still have never received it. Me neither. Pat said again, the game crashes every time I try to pick female cards for the numbers game live events, each of them. Awesome, man. I appreciate everyone also replying to that. This is just my notifications. KSIK said, if we need specific cards for live events, why do we need to find and select? Oh, that's the one I already read out. Never mind. Okay. Well, there you go. That is the community's response. I wish you could see chat because there's a lot of people in chat putting some good stuff as well. Colleen said we We need so many Roman Reigns. We have too many Roman Reigns. Who buys a game on a yearly basis and only plays it for a week? Right? I agree. Harvester said, I also hate how it's the same wrestler getting promo cards. Yeah, absolutely. Where is Kane 99? Glamorous Frog said, I mean, who needs pins in a wrestling game anyway? Jordan said, gives me flashbacks of when you froze as the special ref. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we played a lot of games, Jordan, where it did not work for me, bro. I think DLC Showcase and my Rise card should count towards collection. You get 30 odds cards for my Rise that don't count. Yeah, and then it makes my Rise pointless. Like, they should count, I agree with you. Because then it makes players play the other aspects of the game. So I completely agree. Just submit a ticket. What, for these 1,000 issues, bro? I don't know about that one, man. Harvester said, they can do so much with a wrestling game, and every year they don't capitalise on it. They could add so much to make it more fun and realistic and hardcore, but they're just lazy. Napster said they also need to leverage the island next year for MyFaction game. NBA 2K uses the park every weekend to allow you to earn My Team cards. Napster said, find ways to make players want to keep playing the game. Harvester said, oh, and the servers are the worst. So, I'm going to wrap this one up here because I've been talking for an hour and 11 minutes and I still haven't had an update or drink. But this is everything wrong with WWE 2K25, alright? I know it was a long video, but the fact that I can talk for an hour about constant issues, and none of them issues are the same, we're just talking about new issues for an entire hour, kind of shows you the quality of 2K25, alright? I will round up the video with saying this. I really enjoy MyFaction as a idea. I don't enjoy the execution or the current product. That's the problem, alright? I am like that with a lot of game franchises. Loads of game franchises kind of do the same thing. For example, Bethesda's a great example. Love Bethesda Studios, but their recent games have kind of dipped in quality, apart from the Oblivion remaster. But the point is, the idea of just don't buy it or just don't play it doesn't really sit with me, because I'm passionate about something I enjoy and I want to make that thing better. Believe me, when 2K make positive changes, I will talk about those positive changes. Number one, they removed the cooldown from World Tour. The fact that they added it in the first place kind of negates that. So we won't mention that as goodwill, because they shouldn't have done it in the first place. But they nerfed Sting Like a Bee, which was really breaking rank to Oblivion. So that's one good thing. Another good thing is they added loads of different match variety, but then the problem is they haven't used them since. So for every good thing, you can always counter-argue it. But it's very hard to argue with the negatives. Alright, and that's the problem with 2K25. But what we will be doing next is making a video called What Needs to Happen for WWE 2K26. Alright, and best believe we're going to be making content for that. But I'm sorry if you think this video was just negative. It's in hopes that a lot of people can see all of these problems. A lot of people can see it's not just me saying this. There's a whole community, my community, TH Jamie's, 2K Puns, everyone who comes together to talk about these issues, all right? It's not just a me thing. Thousands of players are having these problems, all right? So 2K, I doubt any of you are watching this video because I've fried you guys to oblivion. And listen, if you make positive changes to the game mode, I will give you credit, 100%. But you need to start making positive changes for me to give you credit, okay? But with that being said, we are going to wrap this one up here. I hope you enjoyed the video, alright? Don't worry, stream. I am still here for a little while, okay? I just need to have a little mini break. But with that being said, folks, I will be back with a brand new video, alright, called Everything 2K26 Needs for it to be a much better game than what we've had this year. Because I think it's safe to say this might be the worst MyFaction's ever been, at least for me. Some people might think that's an exaggeration. I don't think it is. But with that being said, I hope you've enjoyed the video. I've been MFG, talking about WWE. I'll speak to you very soon. Thank you for all the love and all the support, and peace.